Hey there, and welcome to the Bold Badass Business Show, where we bring you badasses from all over the globe. And today in the house, coming in from California, we've got Kathleen Maxwell, your success coach. Welcome to the show, Kathleen.
So nice to be with you, Dr. Barnsley. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, and how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
And Kathleen is the host of the Change It for Good Now podcast. And we've got a little interference there. I don't know what's going on with the sound, but if you can just maybe leave your microphone still, that would be great. We're so happy you're here. And Kathleen is the Change It for Good Now podcast. That is her podcast, and I encourage you to look it up. And I just had the joy of being on it recently. So, we're talking about the 5 little known action stoppers that are destroying you and your business. Well, today we've got a treat for you all listening, and that is, what does weight loss have to do with your business? Well, you're going to find out today some lessons that Kathleen learned as she lost a bunch of weight. And first of all, Kathleen, I want to ask you, when did you start your weight loss journey, and when did you realize that it really could be applied to acing your goals in life and business?
Well, I'm like you, I've been in a number of coaching programs. And one of the things that I was finding was that I had stopped believing in myself and I was starting to accept all sorts of negative feelings. And I was allowing those negative feelings to run my life.
Hmm.
And when I got in a good coaching program that got rid of those negative feelings, all of a sudden felt like I could be in control of my life again. And one of the things that I did when I took control of my life was I decided to take control of my exercise and weight loss program. And that's really how it all started. So I got really serious about it probably in July of last year, and I lost 45 pounds between July 15th and the end of the year. So it,
Beautiful.
mindset has everything to do with any kind of success, in my opinion.
That's fabulous, and I love that you released that. I'd like to release about 50 myself. So it's good to really hear this, and I know that a lot of us like to release weight. I always say weight release instead of weight loss, because if you lost it, you could find it again. But we don't want to do that.
No.
So how did you lose that weight? How did you release that weight rather?
Well, I think one of the keys is that I got rid of my negative emotions, my attachments to my negative emotions.
Hmm.
And it isn't difficult, but I needed a coach to walk me through the process. What goes on in your life is that you have these little voices in your head.
Hmm.
And as you know, just don't believe everything you hear in your mind because those voices will tell you all sorts of things.
It's a
The
bunch of
first
shite.
voice that really indeed, the first voice that really screws you up is your inner critic. And your inner critic will tell you every reason why it can't happen, every reason why you're not going to be successful, every reason why it's okay to just have another piece of cake, or to it's okay if you have a double dessert tonight. It really doesn't matter. And all of this enabling behavior of saying, oh, it really doesn't matter, is like the road to weight loss city or weight gain city. So
Mhm.
I had to quit lying to myself. It really does matter if I do my steps every day. I do a minimum of 10,000 and I'm working up to 15. I was up to 25,000 and then I had an injury which slowed me down, but the injury is healed and the weather is picking up. Like she said, I live in California, so I'm very blessed. I'm going to be able to go out after this podcast and do my steps, get those steps in. And
So
every
you
day
said you
matters.
do 10,000 steps a day, is that right?
At minimum, I'm pushing it up to 15. 3 out of the 4 days week that my tracker's been watching, I've been able to do 15, but one day I fell back and was only able to do 10. But that's okay if it's better to start and make some progress on your goal than to not attempt the goal at all. Small progress is still progress. And that's another thing, another lie that we often tell ourselves is that, oh, well, it really doesn't matter if I skip it today. No, every day you need to call your people. Every day you need to plan how you're going to connect with new people. Every day you need to put effort in. And not every day does it go wonderfully, but you got to show up. Showing
Oh, I
up.
want to pause you right now because you're speaking my language, Kathleen. Every day, consistency, every day. That is the key.
Yes.
And as you said, just even a baby step every day. Most people, when you ask them about their dream, if you ask them to do a pie and split up the time that they're spending in their life on different things, and you ask them to put a slice of the pie that is their dream and how much time they're spending on it, most of the time the slice of the pie isn't even on the pie. There is no slice. They're not spending any time on their dream. So you're really speaking my language with the consistency and also just taking one small step. Of course, your steps turned into 10,000 steps a day, and now you're turning it into 15,000. Wow.
Right. And that's the other thing to realize is that, we all enjoy watching the professional athletes go out there and do the amazing things that they do, but they aren't able to do that just by practicing one day a week. They practice every single day. So anything you want to really be good at, you got to do it every single day. And you have to know that it matters. So don't fool yourself and tell yourself, oh, it doesn't matter if I skip it today. It does matter. So always put in an effort, even if you can't do as much or as strenuous an effort as you want. It builds. It builds. And you can't go from sitting on the couch every day to 15,000 steps. It doesn't work. And sadly, if you don't give yourself any rest days there are what I call a rest day is 10,000 steps. So, it's good to back off on the intensity once or twice a week, but you need to be putting your full effort out every day so that you can make progress. You don't make progress by sitting on the couch. That was the other thing that I learned.
Start with? How many steps did you start with?
Oh, well, I thought I was doing 10,000 steps, and then I got a Fitbit tracker, and then it told me really how many steps I was taking. I started out probably with 5,000 steps last January. I was doing 5,000 steps about 3 times a week, and the scale did not change. Nothing in my wardrobe changed. Everything was still as tight as ever. But when I got out the tracker, and then the tracker gives you not only the day's exercise, but the week's exercise. And if you want, you can go back and look at week by week by week. So there's no fooling yourself when you have a tracker. So I think that's the second key to success is measuring what you actually do, not just, I thought I was doing about 10,000 steps. And then like I said, when I checked, it's more like 5,000 to 7,000 a day.
Is so true, Kathleen. So many business owners, when I have my complimentary Get Results Now session with them, which is really where we can talk about and find out whether they would be a good fit for my Make It Happen mastermind. When we have that meeting, so many of them don't have anything in place to track how much income. I'll ask, what has your income been for the last 3 months? They have no idea. Well, what have your expenses been? They have no idea. And so what you're saying as a lesson of just start, just take small steps, and then also have a really good tracker is so important. So important.
Yes. Tracking your success, monitoring yourself honestly. That's what that's the difference between thinking how much you walked and actually having a little device on your wrist that gives you the exact number of steps you've walked. Two completely different things.
I'm putting that up here. Monitoring yourself honestly is critical. That is absolutely true. And many people will delude themselves. Um, you can't know unless you're tracking it. And what we track grows.
That's true.
What we measure grows.
What you measure grows. What you measure matters. And
Mm.
also, even some people start out just by saying, making the plan, I am going to walk every day. And that's a good plan. If you haven't been doing a lot of exercise lately, it's a good idea to say, I'm going to walk every day. And you need to get out your pencil and you need to put an X on your calendar, or you need to put a notation in your digital calendar. I walked today. And
Mm.
then keep that chain going. Don't break the chain. Every day, make sure that you do your exercise so that you get that X or that check mark. Because you
Or
know
that
what? Check
star.
marks feel good.
Yes.
Before you can see any change at all, seeing that you've been putting the effort in every day is a sure way to keep yourself motivated. Even if that's the only game you're playing, is I'm going to get a check mark today. Today I'm going to do something that matters, that moves the needle a little bit. And it's cumulative, but you gotta be consistent, you gotta track, and you got to do it every day.
And I
No
love that
days
you
off.
gave yourself a reward, that you give yourself a reward, a gold star or a red dot that you write on your calendar, or as you said, cross off the day to show that you did your walking, man. That the calendar doesn't lie.
Right, and having a visual in front of you, that's why I like to use a paper calendar for this, because you see it every day. It's like staring at you, and you can see all the X's, and then there's today, and where is the X? Oh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And you walk by it again. Oh, there's today, and where's the X? And it starts to really interact with you, that piece of paper. So I really encourage people to have something visible and that they have to make a mark on every day. Or like you say, you can put a sticker on it. Stickers are so much fun. And grown-ups, when was the last time you went to the store and bought some stickers or bought some
I
stars
have
at the
to
office?
say it was recently, Kathleen.
Good.
I send out presents to my people in the mastermind every quarter, and I always cover them with stickers. I cover the package with stickers. It's just fun. It's just something I do.
So yes, definitely give yourself a reward of a sticker, or you can go out and buy. I'm a pen addict. I have lots. I don't have them right next to me, but I have so many different containers that have pens in them, and that's one of my joys, my rewards, is to go to the office supply store, buy stickers and
And
different
pins.
colored pens.
Well, it's so good to know what you care about and give yourself that reward. And you pointing out it's important. It doesn't have to be a big reward. It can
Right.
just be a small thing, like go have the cup of sugar-free, hot chocolate, or go take a hot bath. But we can give ourselves rewards, and that is so essential. And this is something that people don't do in business enough. And it is proven that when you have completions, like let's say you complete a project, it doesn't have to be a big project. You filled out the business property tax form, whatever. Doesn't have to be a big project, but pat yourself on the back. You did it. You did it. You had a completion, and then give yourself a little reward. And that might be listening to your favorite song, whatever it is, just something.
Absolutely. Music can really make a big difference. I have headphones on all the time when I walk, and
Mm.
sometimes I listen to music, and sometimes I listen to an audiobook, which is another way to treat yourself. And it also helps you to get out of your mind sometimes and go and do something that will give you a new perspective. Uh, Even if it's something crazy, like I'm re-listening to the Harry Potter series right now.
Mm. I love
And
that.
And remembering why I liked that series is because there were so many unexpected things in it. It wasn't predictable. And because it's been so long since I've listened to the book, it's like having a brand new book again. So give yourself the gift of maybe visiting a book or something that you really enjoy as a treat, and you know it's going to be good. I mean, yes, it's nice to do new things too, but sometimes knowing that something is going to be a pleasing thing for you to enjoy is a wonderful gift to give yourself.
Kathleen, you just made me think of something. It's one of the ways I used to get myself on my recumbent bike was to let myself watch something, some interesting training or TEDx or, some kind of something I was interested in, only when I was on the bike. And I think I need to reinstitute that program again.
It really makes a difference.
Yeah, it got me on the bike.
Learning, learning and exercising, it's a curious combination, but you're getting more blood flow to your brain and you're giving it new input, new ideas. So that's another reason why I really think exercise is key. Even if I weren't trying to lose that next 50 pounds, the joy I get from being outside, being in the fresh air, and listening to my audiobooks makes all the difference. That makes it a treat instead of a drudge. And I think that you need to do that in business as well. You need to find ways to make something enjoyable. And you can have your own music on. Many of us have our businesses in our homes. Why not have some good background music on? Or why not have the good coffee? Go to the store and buy the really premium coffee so that
Mm.
you have something that's a treat and you're treating yourself well every day. If you were working at a bookstore or a bank or a software company, they would have a coffee maker in the kitchen and it would have so-so coffee in it. But still people like to go off and drink the so-so coffee so they aren't working. Are you giving yourself breaks? Are you giving yourself not just breaks, but something to look forward to? That really great cup of coffee, your really favorite treat. And when you have a small treat that's really luscious and mouth filling and mouth watering, that was what I was trying to think of. When you have something that you're really looking forward to, again, it makes it easier to stick with your plan. I can have my coffee and my special treat after I do whatever, my taxes or review the bills from yesterday or enter in the things in the ledger today. Give yourself a reward for every difficult, boring task you have to do, and
Mm.
those tasks will happen like magic.
Could we hear an amen? Woo! Yeah, who's hearing this? Who's hearing what she's laying down? Put an amen up in the comments. For real, giving yourself breaks and something to look forward to, especially when you're doing the mundane tasks. So essential. So
Right.
Kathleen, you lost what, 45 pounds from
Yes.
July to December, was that right?
Yes.
Now, did you change? I know you walked those 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles,
Quite like
10,000 steps 3 times a week. I know you did that. Whoa, 10,000 miles, that's a long. You walked those 3 times a week, but did you change the way you were eating? Did you change your diet as well?
Yes, I switched over to a more protein-filled diet, and I exercise every day. Maybe not always 10,000. 10,000 was the minimum when I was really being serious about it, and I was up to 25,000 right before I pulled a hamstring. So you have to keep building. That's the other thing is that you'll find is that what once moved the scale doesn't all you get to a plateau and you're like, why isn't this working? And what you have to do is you have to shake things up. Either try a different kind of exercise, like maybe riding a bicycle or a recumbent bike, or uh, doing some Pilates, or even just doing sit-ups or weightlifting. And it doesn't have to be the official heavy duty weights at the gym. I used to buy Wesson oil, not because I liked the oil, but because of the way the bottles were shaped. They have a small neck and a big, heavy bottom. And I would walk up and down this hill swinging my Wesson oil bottles. And I did that to get myself in shape for skiing. So be creative. Look around. What do you already have that you can use? Find ways to do it instead of ways to not do it. Your
I
mind
love
has
that.
been
And
very creative in finding ways to get yourself out of the exercise, but maybe you can creatively find ways to get yourself into the exercise.
I love that. And shaking it up, changing your routine. I think that's so essential in business because we really can get in a rut, especially when we're working from home, right?
Yes.
We can get in a rut and we can not even realize sometimes that we're in that rut. So important to shake it up. Maybe go to a coffee shop and do some of your phone calls or do some of your data entry, but give yourself some variety to make it more fun and engaging. Keep your boredom level low and your motivation level high.
Yes. And while you're out at the coffee shop, actually talk to some people there. Not that you think they're going to be your customer, not that you think that they are going to be able to change your life, but practice talking to strangers. It's a crazy thing that when we don't talk to people that we don't know, you get out of practice and you forget how to just bring up something like, your favorite football team. How are they doing this year? Or, uh, something that you're excited about. Maybe you have a new relative in the family, a new baby, a niece, a nephew, a grandchild, whatever. Almost everybody in the line at the Starbucks has a family. And you can just ask them, well, what's exciting going on in your family today? And that's a nice, non political, friendly way to connect with people. So you need to stay connected to other people. When we get isolated, that's another reason why we get depressed and why we think, oh, it doesn't matter if I look good today or whatever, nobody's going to see me. Well, make sure somebody sees you every day. Make sure you have a reason to get up, get dressed, put on some nice clothes, put on your lipstick and so on, and connect with people. So that's another great reason for exercising, is because it builds connection with your community.
Absolutely, it builds connection, and I like what you said about give yourself a reason to get up and put on your makeup, put on nice clothes, you know, get yourself in a great shape. Oh, your dog likes that.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
He likes that point, doesn't he? He's
He
like,
does.
get up and get dressed and take me for a walk.
Yes. Yeah, he's looking at me with deep significance. People don't realize how much you can communicate without being able to speak English at all.
He's like, yeah, he's come on, take me out, take me out. Take me
Yes.
for a walk. You're talking about walking. I heard the word walk.
Yes. Yes. I did make use of the W word, and that was my
Yes,
mistake.
you did, and I think they know about between 80 and 160 words. I know mine know the word FOOD, so I can't even say that right now because otherwise we'll be barked at the rest of the time. Well, I love what you're sharing, and it's interesting because this weight loss, weight release journey of yours really has given you some lessons that to share with us about measuring, about tracking, about giving ourselves breaks, shaking it up, changing our routine, connecting with other people. What would be some of the other lessons that you want the listeners to know that came through this weight release journey for you, Kathleen?
As I was saying at the start of the call, it's really important to recognize if you're carrying around a bunch of baggage
Mm,
and feeling sad, feeling lonely, feeling angry, frustrated, shame, guilt, all of these things, they build up. Just like exercise builds up, negative emotions build up, and you need to consciously go out and release those negative emotions. And once you do, you, you find that you have more energy. Your energy returns. If nothing else, if you're stuck inside, releasing your negative thoughts and your negative way of being can make a huge difference. And that's what I'm not actually a weight loss coach. I'm actually a breakthrough coach. And this releasing the negative energy is one of the tools that I have for my clients. And once they release their negative energy, then they realize that how much more they can do. And often I sign them up for a rapid release to release a situation that has had them stymied. We can release the energy around negative situations, and then all of a sudden things seem possible again.
Mm.
So having a mindset that supports your goals is really important as well. And again, didn't realize how unmotivated and blah I was until I let go of some of this old useless guilt and shame and anger and all these things. You don't need to carry it around, but it stays in your mind until you process it. So I really encourage people to work with a coach to get rid of these emotions that aren't serving them and are actually harming them. Be honest. If you don't have the energy to do what you need to do, you need to make a change. You need to make an adjustment.
There's something in there that needs to be released. You're making me think about one of my coaches, and he really works with people. He's $1 million coach, basically. And he says, feel and do. This is Bill Barron. He says, this is the formula. Feel, let yourself feel it. Give yourself time to feel it. Get out all the anger, get out all the fear, get out all the sadness, whatever it is, loneliness, get it out, and then do. Feel and do. And I think that is so powerful, so very powerful, because what do we usually do? We try to do as a means to run from feeling.
Right.
And then it just continues to mount up and mount up until we get totally blocked.
Yes. Yeah, I totally support what Bill Barron says. He
Feel
is a
and
good coach.
do. Feel and do.
Feel and
And
do.
you can even put a little timer up to have your tantrum. Give yourself a timer and a 5-minute tantrum to get that stuff out.
Or you can write a really nasty letter. Oh, you made me so mad. You did this, you did that, you did the other thing. Don't mail the letter, burn the letter. But you've got it out of your system, and it's not going to keep playing on replay in the back of your mind and sucking out your energy.
I love that. Write the letter, use all the language that you want, every bit of foul language, whatever you need to say, and then don't send it. But you've gotten that out. You've
Right.
exercised it.
Yes, absolutely. It's another way to feel, and it's a very safe way to feel your emotions is to write them down. Journaling is another great mental exercise that can keep you on track and keep you realizing where you're getting stuck, what's holding you back, and what you can do about it. You can you can have a big long complaint in your journal, and then at the end you need to have that last step. And what am I going to do about it now?
Mm.
What? Yes, it's not enough to complain. You need to say, well, in light of all of these things, what am I going to do about it now?
Mm.
Make a decision to make a change. As until you take an action and make a change, nothing in your life is going to shift.
Mm.
So don't just complain with a purpose.
Complain with a purpose. That's fabulous. I want to put that in here. Complain with a purpose. So complain, and then what am I going to do about it now?
Yes. Yes. Make a decision. What am I going to do about this situation now?
Mm.
And you will find that if you take action, it'll either get better, and in which case you keep on with that action, or it'll get worse. And then you stop and you journal again about what happened, what you did, what happened, and Oh, darn. I was really hoping that would work. I was really hoping that they would listen to me this time. No. Then write down a new strategy. How am I going to approach them next time? So that you have a plan. Don't just get spinning on your lack of communication or the lack of progress or whatever, the disappointment. Don't spin on the disappointment too long. It's okay to put it out, but then once you've expressed, oh, I'm so disappointed, I'm so angry, I'm so frustrated, and now what are you going to do as a result of that? How are you going to try and change the situation? And sometimes, in the game of life, as in the game of Monopoly, the best thing to do is to kick over the board. What? Kick over the board and go play with somebody who's going to play fair with you.
Mm.
Don't stay stuck. Don't stay trapped in a situation that you've already figured out isn't working for you. Make sure that you get up and try something new, even if it's kick over the board, and don't talk to that person for a while and go find someone else to interact with. Go find someone else that can help you. Go find someone else that might be interested in listening to you. So
I love this kick over the board. Those of you listening, think about how could that be applied in your life? What are you simply accepting right now that is not working for you? And it's not working for you. Maybe you have a VA you hired and they're not doing the work well. Or maybe you hired a marketing company and they're not doing the work well or up to your standards. Or maybe you're just not giving yourself a good enough structure to get all the work done that you want to get done. Kick over the board and find a different way to approach it. I love that. That's fantastic. So Kathleen, what are some other lessons that you want to impart to everyone listening? I love what you've given us so far. What are some other lessons that came out of this weight release journey for you?
I know it sounds really crazy, and you would think that it would be obvious to anybody that saw me, that knew me then and now knows me, that I'd lost a lot of weight. The truth is, when you're losing weight, you generally lose between a pound or 2 pounds a week. And that's a difference, but it's a slight difference. Sometimes you have to blow your own horn. Sometimes you have to say, well, what do you think? I lost 45 pounds. What do you think? I know I'm not bikini material yet, but an improvement. And sometimes people notice there was something different about you. And I can't tell you how many times somebody says, a new haircut, different glasses. There's something about you. So go ahead and brag on yourself. Don't always say, well, if they really cared about me, they would notice that I'd lost all this weight. Brag. And then you'll have a conversation starter for sure. I lost 45 pounds. You did? How did you do it? So you can find yourself coaching other people, and you can also find their honest appreciation of you, which they may have been withholding for a while. So make sure that you share your accomplishments with other people. Don't be modest or expecting that everybody knows what you've been through. Don't expect that everybody knows what you've accomplished. You need to actually tell people. And accomplishments are the best things to take with you on a networking trip. If you go to a networking meeting and you have a win, several of the groups I belong to ask, all right, who had a win this week? You should always have a win that week, whether it's a personal or a business win. So look for your wins. And when you start looking for your wins, and just like writing down how many steps you took in a day, if you write down your wins every day, you'll have more wins because you're looking for them, you're measuring them, you're keeping track of them. And more wins is obviously going to help your business to grow, and it's going to help keep you on track and on point.
The reticular activating system gets activated there. Whatever we look for, we're going to find. So if we want to find the wins, we're going to find more wins. If we want to find the failures, we're going to find more failures. So I love this. Look, actively look for your wins and share your accomplishments with others. I think that's hard for women, Kathleen. I think it's especially hard for women.
Women are very competitive. I think that's why it's hard. It's just like, well, I lost 15 pounds. Well, I lost 20. Well, I lost 30. Well, it's always, and then you feel like your 15 pounds doesn't count. Never believe that. If you start a snowball of a conversation around an accomplishment you had, and even if your accomplishment is the smallest one, it's still an important one. So never diminish your own wins. And even if you share them with other people. The other thing that some people believe is that, oh, if I say something good happened to me, then that means it'll be taken away. That's
Mm.
superstitious thinking. It doesn't mean it at all. Actually, it's the opposite. Be in gratitude. Be delighted that you were able to do something. Be delighted that you had this win. Be delighted that you had this opportunity. And that will make you more interesting to other people, and it keeps your spirits up. You have to acknowledge yourself and not always expect other people to do it for you. Sometimes you need to say, hey, look at me, I did it.
Every group session, every group coaching session in my Make It Happen Mastermind, guess what we start with? We start with celebrations. We absolutely do, because focusing on that increases it, and we
Yes,
find more and we create more.
yes,
And there's actually people who will cheer us on, which is fantastic.
yes. Now, be honest. Do you have women in your coaching program?
Yes, it's only women.
Oh,
Yes.
only women. And do they compete with each other for who has the best story, or do they compete on who has the worst story?
You know what? Actually, really, they don't compete. I really create a container in which it's all excited yay saying for each other.
Nice.
And that's really essential. So we have the motto: when one of us rises, all of us rises. When one of us falls, all of us fall. So really, I keep that competitiveness out. I encourage my clients to compete with themselves, compete with yourself. Let's say
Right.
you made 3 sales calls today, tomorrow make 6, but not with others in there.
I think that's really important to have your own set of goals that you're trying to achieve and really working hard to knock them off. And again, if you get at some sort of a plateau, which happens in exercise, it happens in weight loss, and it happens in business. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you're not able to push forward and make a difference. That's when you go to your coach and you say, I've been doing these things. I've been doing my reps. I've been calling my people. I just feel stuck. I was on a sales call yesterday with some other people, and we all had sort of similar stories to tell. And they said, well, I guess it's just that time of year. So people are not buying this particular thing at this time of year. Next week, maybe you'll start picking up next week. The weather's getting better. And then people started finding reasons why maybe next week was going to be better. That's, again, you can forecast a good time or a bad time. So why
Hmm.
not forecast a reason why things might change for the better?
We create our own economy.
We do.
I really believe that we create our own economy. So, I have gone through, in 26 years of business, I've gone through seeing so many people go out of business, and I've just always believed that we create our own economy. So in 2008, did my business get shaken hugely? No. And more recently, during COVID, did it get shaken hugely? It did. I pivoted, and I had some of my best years ever at the end of COVID. So, it really is the way we perceive things, isn't it, Kathleen?
It is. And again, what you look for. Are you looking for more success? Are you looking for a way around the difficulty? Are you looking for a new option to try? That
Mm.
makes all the difference. Yes, let's agree that what we've been doing didn't work this week. What can we try next week that might be successful?
Mm-hmm.
So
I love
you have
that question of looking ahead, So, okay, this didn't work this week. So next week, what will we do? What's next? What's next for us? And opening up possibilities is so important. You obviously opened up a huge possibility when you decided you were going to lose that 45 pounds, you know,
I
and
did.
you kept your consistency, you tracked, you've increased and now you're hitting it again so you can lose another, what you said, 50.
Yeah.
Woo, we'll have to have you back when you get that done. That's incredible. That's incredible. And you've shared your accomplishments and inspired other people with it, which is so, so powerful.
And I know that other people can do it as well. I believe in other people. So believe in yourself. And if you can't believe in yourself, borrow a little bit of my belief.
There
I
you go.
believe that anybody can improve their fitness. Anybody can lose weight. Anybody can make a change in their life that's meaningful and will improve their situation. So,
Now I've been looking at some of the trends in the reels, and they're doing chair dances. So these people are doing, they're rocking out in their chairs, and there's no excuse. You can even do chair dancing. Um, you don't even have to go out and walk. You can just they move. They move in those chairs.
yes.
There's a lot that you can do. Well, this has gone so quickly, Kathleen. It really has. And you've given us lots of insight and lots of inspiration and ideas and lessons. And this is one of my favorite parts of the Bold Badass Business Show. And that is when we share a gift we want to give the listeners. So we're
So,
going to give them the URL where it will be. Let me give everybody this. And so stop, finish up in the bathroom or whatever you're doing and get a pen and write down bit.ly/free from Dr. B. DR. Let me repeat it again, bit.ly/free from Dr. B. Write that down, DRB, and you'll be able to go into the vault, and you'll see all our VIP sponsors at the top, and you'll got a little interference. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but hopefully everybody can still hear. And you can come into the vault and get all of these wonderful gifts from all of the episodes. And Kathleen, what are you going to put into the vault?
I'm going to put in the self-talk reset process. It's all about becoming more aware of those voices in your head that I was alluding to earlier, and tactics for talking to those voices in your head and getting them to work with you instead of against you.
I think we have a little bit of interference, but I'm going to repeat what you just said, that you're giving away the reset, the self-doubt reset, or the self-talk reset, so that people can really reset how they're talking to themselves and achieve their goals, really ace their biggest goals. Absolutely. I love that. That's fantastic. And you all will be able to find it at bit.ly/free from Dr. B, DRB. And I see here actually Patty Salvatierra from Peru. Hi, Patty. It's good to see you here. Estás chévere? Estás chévere? Good to see you. I'm glad you tuned in for today. And I think at this point, you all, we're going to go ahead, because we still have some interference. We're going to go ahead and wrap. It's been an incredible show, Kathleen. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much for bringing all of these lessons from your weight release journey. Is there one last thing that you'd like to say to everybody before we end?
Keep walking, keep tracking, and keep believing in yourself.
Keep walking, keep tracking, and keep believing in yourself. Incredible. Well, you all today, maybe you don't feel like a bold badass. Maybe you feel like you're not that important or you don't matter. Or you've had a hard week, but let me assure you that you are a bold badass because you tuned in today. And make sure that you tune in next week at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific on Friday. Join us again for another amazing show. And in the meantime, be bold, be a badass, and believe in you. Thanks so much. Thanks,
Thank you.
Kathleen.